In this video, I introduce you to 10 clubs that, in my opinion, could be very interesting for a first career in FC 25. If you like the video and would like me to do a second part with only small teams, please let me know by liking the video. Otherwise, feel free to comment. The first club has a lot of potential right away. We're talking about Brighton and Hove Albion. The team, now led by Fabian Hürzeler, has really got off to a flying start in this summer transfer phase, and you could say it's really smooth. People who simply play career mode, in reality, invested over 200 million euros in new player in the summer. And all of these players, to briefly stay in career mode language, have at least a potential of 83 or more, including Brian Gruder from the Bundesliga, Matt Oily from Celtic Glasgow. We have Fedi Cardiolo from Fenerbahce, Jorginho Rutter, who we also used to know from the Bundesliga, and so on. The coach is also a talent in this sense. At 31, Fabian Hürzeler is incredibly young for a coach and younger than some of the players. With this team, you can even win the Premier League without making a single transfer if you train the players properly, because they have so much potential. For the second club, we fly to Germany. We go to last year's Bundesliga runners-up, VFB Stuttgart. Of course, they have lost many players that are painful, like that of Anton, Ito or Girassi, but that has not stopped Stuttgart from replacing them all very well, including, of course, the permanent signing of Dennis Undav. We have Demirovic, who was signed from Augsburg, and much more. However, the challenge is real. You'll need to battle it out with the Bundesliga's giants like Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, and Bayer Leverkusen. They had a brutal last season to prove that Stuttgart belongs at the top of German football once again. We're going back to England for the next club. If you're aiming for a legendary club with a rich history and a fan base hungry for success, Manchester United is the ultimate choice in FC 25 career mode. Your task is clear. Return United to their former glory and compete with the likes of Manchester City, Liverpool and Chelsea for domestic and European dominance. You have very strong players like Rashford, De Ligt, Kobbie Mainoo or Garnacho, but it's kind of the same every year. The team is pretty good from the start. You can always do something about it. The new additions that United bring in by themselves are actually anything but bad, but somehow they never get out of the spiral of not winning titles. So do your best and bring the Red Devils back to the top of the world. If you want to bring another giant back to great success, it's Juventus Turin. Meanwhile, 5 years without winning the league. In Italy, really, everything and everyone wins the title, just not the old lady who was previously a long-term subscription champion. The reasons are, of course, an outdated squad, transfers that didn't work out, and the Ronaldo fiasco wasn't necessarily an advantage for Juve going forward, which doesn't mean CR7 is the main culprit, but they simply planned and counted on money they simply didn't have at Juventus. The most expensive new players are mainly in the midfield. They brought in Coop miners, Douglas Luiz and Kefren Thuram. Furthermore, they have many young players with potential like Timothy Weah. Managing Juventus means taking on the pressure of winning immediately while rebuilding for the future. Can you restore their dominance in Serie A and bring the long-awaited Champions League trophy back to Turin? Helping a fallen giant from the football business to rise, that's possible with Schalke 04. Schalke is one of Germany's most historic and beloved clubs, but recent struggles have seen them fall from grace. Now, it's up to you to guide Die Nappen back to the top of the Bundesliga and compete with powerhouses like Bayern Munich and their biggest rival, Borussia Dortmund. Schalke has one of the most passionate fan bases in Germany. The Veltins Arena is always electric. Managing Schalke is about more than just winning titles. It's about restoring pride to a club with a proud history. The road to success will be long and difficult, especially with the limited budget of a second-tier team, but that makes victory all the sweeter. Can you guide Schalke back to the Bundesliga, compete with Germany's elite and bring European football back to the Veltins Arena? Next, we go to a promoted team in Serie A. It is the club Como, promoted to Serie A. On the one hand, they have celebrities on the bench with Cesc Fabregas, but also on the field, they have famous players like Rafael Varane, Andrea Belotti, Sergi Roberto, or the 42-year-old Pepe Reina. If you're looking for an exciting and long-term project in FC 25 career mode, Como 1907 is the perfect club to manage. Como is a club with a rich history, but has spent most of the recent decades in the lower tiers of Italian football. Taking control of Como means writing your own underdog story, transforming a modest club into a force to be reckoned with in Italian football. Maybe you could focus on oldies at the beginning, especially in Serie A, players who are well-known, perhaps no longer have their best times, along behind them, and try to get to grips with these players, first establish ourselves in Serie A. Let's continue in Spain. If you are looking for an exciting project in FC 25 career mode, FC Girona offers you a fantastic opportunity. This relatively small club in La Liga is full of potential. So much potential that they finished third last season, ahead of Atletico Madrid. Girona doesn't have the financial muscle of La Liga's giants, meaning you'll have to be strategic with your spending. You'll work with a limited budget, making it difficult to attract top-tier players. With fewer resources than clubs like Barcelona and Real Madrid, your success at Girona will depend heavily on the club's youth academy. Create your own La Masia, but with Girona FC. We stay in Spain and travel to Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid's last championship was 4 years ago. The squad is somewhat older. Similar to Juventus Turin, the connection to Barcelona and Real Madrid has been lost somewhat, and the gap between the squads is widening from year to year. The Atletico Madrid coach has already initiated a small change with the signing of Robin Lenormand from Real Sociedad. Conor Gallagher for the midfield is also an absolutely suitable player for this team of footballers in terms of mentality. And last but not least, an absolute technician up front in attack, Julian Alvarez, who came for 75 million. That's only 3 transfers. But this team clearly needs more than just 3 transfers to initially close the gap with Barcelona and Real Madrid and eventually overtake those 2 clubs. And unlike Juventus Turin, the groundwork the club has done is quite okay with 3 transfers. We have a Griezmann who is over 30. Even an Oblak in goal is approaching 30. Take charge of this club and bring the Champions League to Madrid, to the Red Madrid. We are going to the penultimate club and to France for the first time. Olympique Lyon, one of France's most prestigious clubs, offers a fantastic challenge in FC 25 career mode. After years of dominance in the early 2000s, OL has fallen behind the likes of Paris Saint-Germain and Marseille. Lyon's youth academy is one of the best in France, producing stars like Karim Benzema, Alexandre Lacazette and Houssem Aouar. Developing young players and integrating them into the first team will be crucial as you look to build a sustainable and successful team. They have good new players like Moussa Niakate, Georges Mikautadze, who played a very good Euro, or a super winger with Ernest Nuama. While Lyon doesn't have the spending power of PSG, the club's rich history, renowned academy, and strong fan base provide the foundation to create a long-term project. Before we get to the last club, subscribe to my channel for more FC 25 career videos. The last club does not come from one of the top 5 leagues. It is Sporting CP, the first big club of Cristiano Ronaldo. This historic Portuguese club has a proud history and a passionate fan base, but recent years have seen them striving to regain their former glory. They already have good players with a lot of potential, like Victor Gyökeres, Gonçalves, or Marcus Edwards. But they still need that certain something, a star player like Ronaldo. But the financial situation is not very good, so make sure you are better off financially and build a world team. The Primeira Liga is competitive, with strong clubs like FC Porto and SL Benfica dominating the league. Your challenge at Sporting CP will be to outmaneuver these rivals and reclaim the league title, all while making a mark in European competitions. These were the 10 clubs that I think deserve a save on your console. I hope you enjoyed the video. In that case, please like and subscribe. If you have any other suggestions, please leave them in the comments.